Prioritizing sleep is so crucial when it comes to weight loss. So crucial when it comes to weight loss, and not even just weight loss, just being healthy in general, but in this exact aspect, we're going to talk about weight loss. So appropriate sleep habits really help you to maintain your energy throughout the day. And if you have good energy, if you have good cognition, if you are able to think extremely well, guess what? You're going to be able to make better health decisions throughout the day. You are going to be able to work out and have a really strong and effective overall fitness regime that day. You are going to just feel so much better and so much more mentally strong and mentally clear to allow yourselves to be the healthiest version of yourself. If you get poor sleep, how many times when you're going to get breakfast or a lunch, the first thing you grab is something bad? You grab that sugary drink or that sugary muffin because it looks good, right? Oh, I'm sleep deprived, and ooh, I just really want that sugary good, that Pop-Tart, for example, right, for breakfast. So not only your cognition goes down, but on top of that, when you sleep very, very poorly, you crave and you have so much hunger for specific foods. So that's why getting good sleep is really, really crucial, because it offsets this. So by getting that crucial sleep, getting at least 7 hours minimum, 7 to 9 hours, we'll talk a little bit more on the end of this section about some good sleep hygiene tips. But once you get that recommended value, you are going to be able to limit your hunger cravings. And not even just the craving. So the hunger is one thing. Hunger is physiological. That's telling your body you need stuff. Craving is more of just, ooh, I'm salivating because that sounds good. So if you are sleep deprived, again, you are going to be going towards those worst options. You're not going to be thinking quite as well. And both of these are a never-ending feedback loop, because if you are going to be not making good decisions and eating those bad foods, the second you eat those bad foods, you're going to be craving them even more. Guess what? You're not going to have as much energy throughout the day. You're going to be more tired at night. And hopefully you'll get good sleep, but a lot of times people, their sleep's dysregulated. So then it leads to this never-ending feedback loop, unfortunately, of people getting bad sleep and then craving bad food. Another huge thing that sleep helps with when it comes to weight loss success is it helps to regulate your hormones. So your insulin sensitivity improves. And when your insulin sensitivity improves, this is great, because this is one of the things that can really help to regulate your overall feelings of hunger and energy throughout the day. If you are very insulin sensitive, your body is able to use a tiny bit of insulin to basically regulate any blood sugar brought into your body. And that's a great thing, because if you think about it, you don't want a huge amount of insulin being spiked, because that's a large stress on your system and can lead you to, of course, being tired and run down the road. Your hunger hormones are also regulated much better if you're getting that proper sleep. So as we just discussed before, there's a huge correlation with sleeping poorly and being very hungry. And this is due to two hormones. There's a lot of hormones, but we're going to talk about two today. These ones are the most important and ones that you can kind of take into your life and think about. The two hormones are ghrelin and leptin. Ghrelin is your hunger hormone. And the way you can think about this is ghrelin is kind of like growling. So when you sleep poorly, your ghrelin hormone increases. So that's the hormone that tells you I'm hungry, I'm growling, grr, right? Your leptin hormone is your satiety hormone. Your satiety is essentially your ability to feel full. This goes down when you get poor sleep. So you're probably thinking, geez Louise, Logan, that sounds like a recipe for disaster. My hunger hormone's going up and my fullness hormone is going down. Yeah, it is a complete disaster. And if any more reason for you to get proper sleep is that you will be craving less and less hungry for those unhealthy foods, I don't know what better sales pitch to give you. So on top of that, of course, getting proper sleep can help with overall recovery, not just from the life stresses, so you're able to cope better and make better health decisions, but also your workout stress too, right? You're pushing yourselves in your workout. You are trying to be getting the most benefits from that overall routine. And if you're not giving yourself the proper time to recover and sleep well, you're not going to be able to rebuild and adapt your overall body. And if you're not rebuilding and adapting, you're doing the complete opposite. You're running yourself down. You're not recovering. You are not becoming the fittest version of yourself. And the fittest version of yourself, usually, for a lot of people, means a good body composition. So when it comes to overall sleep hygiene tips, a few things that you can do, and some of these you probably do, hopefully, maybe you don't. It's a good time to reassess your sleep hygiene routine. So calming activity before bed. This could be journaling, this could be meditating, this could be reading. Maybe you're just talking to your loved one or talking to somebody on the phone. Not somebody who will stress you out, of course. Somebody who will make you feel good, make you feel light, make you feel energetic, and make you feel like you have power to take on the rest of the day. So pick a calming activity for yourself. That's a good idea. I like reading. I have a timer on my sleep clock. It's actually basically 30 minutes before I go to bed. I hit this button and it turns a big bright light in my room, and then it slowly dims over the next 30 minutes. So I read, and then once it gets dark enough, I just shut it off. Well, it actually shuts off completely, but then I just quit reading, right? Calming activity is super helpful to calm down your central nervous system. Let's talk about the big bad wolf in the room, caffeine and alcohol. So caffeine and alcohol are dangerous for your sleep. And a lot of people will drink maybe a little bit of caffeine, maybe they'll have some coffee, or they'll have some alcohol before bed, and they'll think, oh, I can sleep completely fine. And the thing about this is that may be sort of true. You may be able to fall asleep fine, but your sleep quality is greatly decreased. The overall, different stages. So there's REM, deep sleep. These get disrupted incredibly frequently when you're having caffeine, when you're having alcohol before bed. So you may be able to fall asleep fine, but your sleep isn't as good as if you had it without. So maybe you're like in bed for 9 hours and you're like, I got 9 hours of sleep, but you had caffeine and alcohol right before that. You might have been tossing and turning. Your body might have been having a bunch of micro awakenings where maybe you only got 5 to 6 hours of sleep. That can happen. If you're waking up and you're feeling kind of groggy, this is usually why. Exercising before bed. So this can be a good and bad. Some people actually get some good benefits from exercising before bed. They get tired and they can go right to sleep. Some people, it revs up their body too much. It revs up their sympathetic nervous system, which helps them to keep awake too much. And of course, if it is too much, that's going to be a disaster for your overall sleep. So kind of find what works for you. You could kind of do more of a soothing activity when it comes to exercise, like yoga or maybe just a light walk. Occasionally I like doing some light walks before bed. I don't really exercise too much before bed though, because I notice it does usually affect my overall energy and vigor. Having food before bed. So a lot of people can't handle a big meal, and a big meal might not be the best option before bed, but usually a meal that is decently high in protein, or this could even be a snack, and decently high in carbs before bed will usually help people sleep a lot better. Again, this would usually ideally be about an hour or two, so you give yourself a little bit of time to digest, and but for the most part, food, it can kind of play a decent role. And then probably one of the most important things, going to bed at consistent times and waking up at consistent times. And on top of that, I also want to add seeing bright light immediately after you wake up, or as close to after you wake up. So when I wake up, I have an area that I meditate in. literally right after I wake up, and it's looking straight out at the sky towards the sun. And this bright light can help to spike your cortisol right away, which can basically tell your body it's time for me to wake up. So that tells your body to wake up, but also at nighttime, since you spiked your cortisol really early in the day, that's a good thing. Your cortisol level will drop off to the appropriate amount, so you get sleepy before bed and can go to sleep better. So if you're waking up at consistent times, seeing bright light, ideally going outside to see bright light, that will help you to stay alert throughout the day, which can help you with weight loss decisions and making healthy decisions overall. But then at night, again, that cortisol is going to peak. You're going to feel sleepy at a certain time. So this only takes a few days of just consistent work at it. And the more consistent you are at it, the more your body's going to start to have that internal clock regulated super well. You're going to be feeling great. You're going to be feeling energetic, and you are going to literally regret that you didn't start doing this routine sooner. So get out, get some sunshine as early as you can, even on a cloudy day too, I should say as well. When it is cloudy, it is still emitting enough sunshine that it helps with that cortisol spike in the morning. Super important. And then also at the flip side, at night, trying to limit overall artificial light exposure as well. That all comes back in conjunction with just waking up at consistent times though. Now, the last thing I want to talk about in the sleep and weight loss area is just sleep apnea. And sleep apnea is basically where your body wakes up throughout the night because it's not getting enough oxygen, because you're literally usually choking on yourself through your neck. So usually it's for people who are very overweight. When they sleep and they kind of start snoring, they're basically not getting enough oxygen through their overall trachea windpipe to their lungs, that they have to wake themselves up. That's exactly what's happening. And when that happens with sleep apnea, you're essentially waking up so many times throughout the night, and you're basically not even having a sleep. So you might be in bed for 9 hours, and since you keep waking yourself up, you're literally never getting 9 hours of sleep. You might be getting 1 minute of sleep and then waking up, 1 minute of sleep, waking up. Many people are undiagnosed with this. So if you have anyone you know that snores, or even if yourself, you know you snore a little bit, this could be kind of an early warning sign of sleep apnea. Now, you would probably want to get a sleep test for this. But also too, something that I've been doing is using sleep strips. So these are basically little pieces of tape that go over your mouth. So then you're only breathing through your nose at night. And when you breathe through your nose, this can greatly, for a lot of people who have kind of that sleep apnea starting, or just minor sleep disturbances from choking basically on their throat, as I described earlier, this can kind of help. So those are on Amazon. I think they're like $10. I got a pack for like 90 or 100 for like $10. It's worth a shot. A little awkward at first, but my sleep has greatly improved because of it as well. So that's a great habit to help you to lose weight and make weight loss ultimately effortless.